highlights from Mr. North Andover, an update from our pet health correspondent, and a look at this year's Catwalk for Cancer fundraiser. All of these stories and more coming up on The Journal. Hi everyone, and welcome to this edition of the North Andover Journal. I'm Morgan Healy. North Andover was feeling some Irish pride last week, and just in time for St. Patrick's Day, the North Andover VFW held its 10th annual Shamrock Cheer fundraiser on Friday night. The proceeds went to fund charities for local veterans. Auction prizes were also donated by local businesses. Here's our dedicated volunteer Jim Fazio reporting from the VFW.
Hi, I'm a volunteer here at the North Andover VFW, Post 2104, and also a volunteer at North Andover Camp. We're having our cheer here tonight. It's called our Shamrock Cheer, and I'm going to introduce you to Phil Spitaleri, who's in charge of this function. Phil, what is your position here?
I'm the post quartermaster.
And how long have you been that?
Since 2003.
A long time. That's pretty good. And how many years have we been doing the cheer here?
This will be our 10th year.
Our 10th year. And the money that we raise for this, where does it go to?
Well, we use it for a variety of things. We try to help out local veterans as much as possible. As individuals, we'll donate money to Operation Homes for Our Troops. We've donated money to the disabled veterans. We've donated money for memorials in town, and we try to help out our local firefighters and police departments whenever we can. With each fundraiser, we try to set aside a little bit of money for everything. So
that's really nice. Now, as far as all the prizes go, where do the prizes come from?
Most of the prizes are donated. We get a lot of local establishments donating gift certificates and the like. And then we also go out, we do some shopping on our own, and then hopefully we make back whatever we spent, and we'll have money left over to help out people who really need it.
Excellent, Phil. Thank you so much. Shamrock here at the VFW. Do you believe it's been 10 years? Well, we're going to offer a good time tonight. We have 10 drawings. As usual, this year they're $1 a piece from 1 through 9, and our last drawing, as usual, is a $5 drawing with 20, let's see, with 20 prizes to raffle off. And the last drawing of the night, $5 one, is that you buy a ticket, your number gets called, the ticket goes back into the drum. You have you can win more than once on that ticket, so that's on our last drawing of the night. Don't forget about that 50-50, let's build that up. Remember, all this money goes to a good cause. Next, it's a plush animal. See this cute little turtle right here? That's up there. And we're gonna give you a bottle of wine with that plush turtle. How's that sound? That's so you can get plush turtle. Here we go. Ticket number 508199. 50819 upstairs. Next year, think about coming down to our 11th annual Shamrock Cheer. It's a really good time. It's for a good cause. Thank you, and have a great day.
Easter is right around the corner, and our pet health correspondent, Krista Vernolican from the Bulger Veterinary Hospital in North Andover has some more important information about potential pet health hazards that you should be aware of for the upcoming holiday.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Easter hazards, as well as answer a few viewer questions. So in Easter time, we have 3 main pet hazards. The first, which most people know, is that dogs are susceptible to chocolate toxicity. So chocolate is toxic to dogs and cats, although cats very, very rarely will get into chocolate, whereas dogs really enjoy chocolate feasts. The main concern is theobromine, which is a chemical in chocolate, and it is much higher concentration in a baker's chocolate or dark chocolate compared to milk chocolate. So a 50-pound dog, for example, would have toxicity at 1 ounce of baker's chocolate compared to about 50 ounces of milk chocolate. Still, no dog should be exposed to this. It can cause vomiting and diarrhea, and at higher doses, seizures, coma, and in very severe cases, death. So please, if your dog gets into chocolate, please bring them into the emergency room immediately and try to avoid them being exposed to the chocolate in the first place. Second would be Easter lilies. Easter lilies, as well as the Asiatic lilies and other members of the lily family, are toxic to cats. No cat should ever eat any portion of a lily. Even a very small amount can cause kidney failure. So please keep the lilies out of the house if you're a cat owner. Other lilies that are not true lilies, like calla lilies and peace lilies, are not toxic to cats. Finally, we have Easter grass, which is potentially an issue for both dogs and cats, but predominantly cats. Easter grass, especially the really plasticky ones, will cause intestinal obstruction. So cats will start vomiting and not be able to pass food, and that is a surgical emergency. So keep the Easter grass away from your cats or choose a more degradable option. There are paper-based Easter grasses that would be a bit safer for cats. So, on to viewer questions. We had a question about toothbrushing and how important that is for pets. It really is just as important for pets' teeth to be brushed as it is for people. However, it can be a good deal more difficult to work that into your daily schedule. The next best, if you can't brush teeth on your pet, would be to use one of the many available products that are chew toys that are specifically meant to remove tartar. You can find a list on the Veterinary Oral Health Council website, vohc.org, and those are products that have been approved by this organization and are safe and effective. And then the third option, which is good, but not quite as good as the other two, is adding water additives or rinses to your pet's daily regime. Water additives would go into the water bowl. A rinse would be done daily or as directed on the packages. A final question that we received was about whether pets can be susceptible to colds that we get. And the answer is no. Viruses that are involved in colds are actually generally fairly species specific, so they can affect other primates perhaps, but they will not affect dogs or cats. And similarly, a dog or a cat with a cold can't affect a human. So we'll see you next time when we talk about flea and tick prevention for your pets as the season gets warmer.
Catwalk for Cancer began 7 years ago by dedicated Central Catholic High School students. And ever since, this fashion show fundraiser has helped to raise a significant amount of money for the Jimmy Fund and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. The 2016 edition of the show was a great success as well, and we've got some highlights. Check it out.
Welcome to Catwalk 2016.
I'm glad you.
We brought her into Children's Hospital in Boston. We thought she had a sinus infection. Little do we know that several hours later, we would be hearing the news that no parent wants to hear. We were suddenly launched into a club of people that the members don't sign up to be in. And Ava was diagnosed with a baseball-sized brain tumor.
Hoping you take that. Hoping you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hoping the water rises, you built a wall. Hoping the crowd screams out, you're screaming your.
North Andover Public Schools continue to bring modern technology into every classroom in the town. A wireless document camera and projection system are just some of the tools that teachers are using in classrooms today. In Nancy Chandler's 6th grade class, for example, it's a science class, and technology is being used to make learning more engaging and making instruction more effective for the teachers. Let's take a quick look at this model classroom at the North Andover Middle School.
Today we're at the middle school, Nancy Chandler's classroom, and we're looking at the model classroom. Today she's going to be doing a presentation to kind of give you a little bit of an introduction as to what is involved in the model classroom. Model classroom, as we've talked about before, is the projector, document camera, and a wireless access so that they can present. So as we look in this classroom, you'll see Mrs. Chandler with a 6th grade classroom doing a little bit of a science experiment and explaining how the document camera and the projector work in her classroom.
The program is a model classroom, and right now what the model classroom consists of is the projector. We have the computers, and all teachers have the computers, and the document camera. And so it's a projection system where I can then project whatever's on the document camera or the computer onto the screen, and it's wireless. So it just makes things much, much easier than we used to have the carts, and the carts would be in the middle of the room, and the cords would be in the way, and you'd have to move the kids' desks around. This way, everybody stays put, and it's quick, and it's reliable. The model classroom has changed my teaching considerably. I've often, in the last month, thought, how did I do this before I had it? Because it's changed it so much for the better that I don't think I'd want to go back to how I used to do it. I think the kids are 21st century learners now, and they're very used to screen time. And so just having things up on the screen for them is very engaging, and they're more apt to be looking at that than sometimes if they're just looking at a paper and I'm holding a paper giving directions, let's say. I can give directions to them with the directions right on the screen. So something that I want to highlight, I can highlight right there. Whereas if I said a word, underline that word, they might not see where that word is. But so it's really reaching a student that has trouble with that, or even a student who's maybe not always as engaged. So the direction piece of it is great. It's also changed my teaching in terms of being able to record. So I was able to record last week the directions for a week-long project that were about 10 minutes long with me rolling dice and doing different things, and kids who were absent were able to then watch it and know exactly what to do when they came back. In a lab situation, it's great because I can be demonstrating and my 4 groups can be watching it on the screen and actually doing it at the same time. Whereas before, if I'm in the front of the room and there's a taller student in front of a shorter student and this one can't see, or they gather around but then they don't have their materials, it just makes it so much more conducive for everyone participating. I could link a video to Google Classroom is one way, but I can also link a video to our homework page website. That's through the North Andover Public Schools site. And I can also send things home in an email. When I was able to record those directions and the kids came in and just had to take a computer, listen to the directions, that would have been 10 minutes that I would have been away from the other kids who had heard the directions and working on the project. So instead of taking me out of the classroom to give those directions to those kids, I was able to stay in the classroom. They were able to get those directions, and 5 kids used the computer to see the directions, came right back in, and not one of them asked me one question about it. They can rewind something that they didn't understand and go back and see it again. So that right there was such a plus.
The Mr. North Andover pageant is a great tradition at the North Andover High School. 8 Scarlet Knights seniors competed on Friday night in categories such as formal wear, talent, and beachwear. The event raises money every year for the Support Our Seniors Party for the soon-to-be May graduates. Here are some highlights from the show.
It's time that I introduce you to our first contestant. Ladies and gentlemen, Griffin Barber. Nikhil Jain. Here's Ben Whitten. Thayvon Devon. Will Berberek. Kyle Salois.
Yeah, Inglewood always up to no good. Even Hollywood trying to get a piece.
Clayton Bell. Mr. Dan George Holman. And who do we see coming towards us but 8 fine young men in their beachwear?
Summer days drifting away to all those summer nights.
And without further ado, Mr. North Andover 2016 is Thayvon Devon.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
At the Selectmen's meeting on Monday, March 21st, new Fire Chief Bill McCarthy was signed into office. Let's take a look at the ceremony.
We're going to begin with a vote to sign our new fire chief's contract.
Madam Chair, I'll move the Board of Selectmen sign the contract between the town and Fire Chief William McCarthy.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Town Clerk Bradshaw and Chief McCarthy.
This is the favorite part of my job next to elections is to swear a fire chief. Yes.
Turn to the family, Bill.
Yeah, that way.
All right.
Photo
My
ops.
pleasure and honor to be able to do this. You would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
William McCarthy.
Solemnly promise and affirm that I will faithfully, honestly, sincerely, and impartially perform all the duties that are incumbent upon me as the chief of the North Andover Fire Department. So help me God.
Am I smiling enough, Mark?
Can I make you promise something?
Well, again, I want to thank the board for showing the confidence in me. I'm really looking forward to it. I want to thank all the people I work with for all the support and confidence that you gave me, and especially my family, all the support from the family. I really appreciate it. So I know you have a big agenda tonight, so I thank you, and I'm ready to start tomorrow. So thank you.
Here, here. Thanks, Bill.
Okay, can I go home now?
And now on for our calendar updates and happenings around town. On March 29th, we will be having our local elections. There is one seat open on the Board of Selectmen, the Housing Authority, and the School Committee. If you're unfamiliar with the candidates or unsure about who you want to vote for, make sure you catch the candidates debate forum. You can find it on this channel, the GovCam channel, and on North Andover Cam. The MSPCA is having a vaccination clinic at Nevins Farm in Methuen on April 3rd. Vaccinations cost $15 each, microchips are $25, and nail trims for pets are $8. If you don't have your pets vaccinated, this is a great event to attend, especially with the spring and summer around the corner. And on April 5th, the high school is hosting the All-Town Band Festival at 7 p.m. As always, if you have any news stories or ideas for a segment here on North Andover Cam, please email us at thejournal@northandovercam.org. That wraps things up for us this week. I'm Morgan Healy. Thanks so much for joining us.